Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have another Visconti pen here that's in my collection, and this is the Visconti Caput Mundi. Now this comes in a very sort of just standard Visconti box here, so it's really nothing to speak out about. I'll take it out of this box and you'll see it's a standard clamshell box. And if I open this up, you'll see it comes with the standard Visconti clamshell, a slightly embossed effect into this leather here. And then it comes with the standard brochure, which I'll show you, but it's a brochure. It's not a manual. It shows the Visconti Villa. It shows you how Visconti make their pens on their lathes and machines. It shows some heads of state and some actors and actresses that are sort of accepting and using and handling Visconti pens. It shows a number of the different pen ranges that are available. These are the higher end pens. And then here are the standard range pens. So it is really just a brochure and nothing more than that. It's not a manual. And then you have the pen here. And this is a pen that I got from Stefano at Stilograph Corsani. Now, so this pen is quite an interesting one for me, and I'll tell you why. So I actually bought this along with my Corsani 90, and the story behind this was that I really wanted the Corsani 90 from Visconti, and it was a special pen that Stefano had made for the 90th anniversary of his store. And I'd been looking at it for about 3 months, and he always had stock. So it was like, well, okay, I'll just keep going back now and again, and then eventually I will buy it. And then I went back, and then it was sold out. Or at least you couldn't add it to the shopping cart. So I emailed Stefano and said, hey, look, I really wanted this pen, but it looks as though you're sold out. I'm hoping you have one left, but if not, I'm interested in the Caput Mundi. What price can you do? And do you have it in stock? And he actually came back and said, well, I have both in stock. So I had this very deliberating moment where I had to choose between, do I go for the Corsani 90? Do I go for the Caput Mundi, or do I go for both? And in the end, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go for both. So I ordered both, and they arrived within a couple of days. And the reason why I like this Caput Mundi is it's a red, sort of semi-opaque demonstrator. So this is inked up at the moment. It's difficult to see, but there is red ink in the barrel there that is sloshing around. But the reason why I like this is the gold. Well, it's actually more of a bronze trim that is on this Caput Mundi. If I bring some light in a bit more, you'll be able to see it there. There you go. I really do like this red and bronze effect. Now this pen comes in a number of finishes. So there's this bronze effect, which will patina and is patinaing. There is a silver and a ruthenium, a black trim, and those are limited editions to North America. I liked this bronze trim, which is actually limited edition, unique to, I believe it's just to Italy. And so I decided to get this, and I really, really do like this. It is a Visconti Homo Sapiens. You have the two rings here. You have the My Pen cap finials. Now you can put initials on here. You can put a birthstone or a gemstone on here. And then the cap tapers down to the centre barrel here. If I zoom in, you'll see it says Homo Sapiens and then a number. So this is number 7 of 50. So there were only 50 Caput Mundis made. So that is a fair sized limited edition. Most Viscontis tend to be around about 888 or 1,000. Sometimes they can even go up to 4,000 in range if it is limited edition. But 50 is a very small one. This was the other reason why I decided to pick this up when I did, because I thought, well, I almost missed out on the Corsani 90, and there is a good chance I'm going to miss out on the Caput Mundi. Now, Caput Mundi basically means, as I understand it, capital of the world. That is, I believe it's Rome. Is the suggestion that Caput Mundi is the capital of the world. But this is a lovely, lovely pen. Now, in terms of size, it's actually a really good size. It is a Homo Sapiens, so it is an oversized pen, just a little bit. I find this is to be a very good size in my hand. Now, if I post the pen, it's actually a little bit longer. It's not back weighted much. There's a little bit of back weight on there, but you could write with this, especially if you write with the pen sort of in the crook here, between the your finger and index finger and thumb. I don't need to use that posted, so for me this is actually quite nice to have it like that. Let's do some size checks. And then we'll do a pen comparison with other pens, and then we'll do a writing sample. So in terms of length, this is a Homo Sapiens, so we're looking fully capped, we're looking around about 147 millimeters in length, and then the cap is around 60 millimeters, which is about standard for Homo Sapien. And then in terms of length between the tip of the tines and the end cap, it's around 133 millimeters. Now, the other thing to mention here, they've given it a lovely gold coloured nib here, and that is really nice. So I got it is a 23 cap palladium nib, but it's plated gold. I got it with a medium nib. You can also see the hook safe lock here mechanism, which allows you to cap and uncap the pen in about a quarter of a turn. And then just a little bit on from here, you can see there is a slight ink window there. It is a double reservoir power filler. So you can lock the ink off whilst flying, just to avoid any huge amounts of leak of ink. So this pen will hold around 2.5 millilitres of ink. So let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have the Visconti Luxor, we have the Visconti Belgica, we have a Pelican M800 Royal Gold Ardent, we have a Visconti Speakeasy, we have the Visconti Caput Mundi, we have the Visconti Opera Silver Dust, we have the Visconti Homo Sapiens London Fog, we have the Classic Pens LB5, we have the Visconti Opera Master River Thames, and we have a Visconti Divina Metropolitan. Let's do a writing sample. So, this is the Visconti Homo Sapiens Caput Mundi, and it's a medium 23 cap palladium nib. Now the ink is Ackerman Dutch Masters, and this is Steenrud Van Vermeer. Now, in terms of line variation, it's a medium nib, so without any pressure whatsoever, you get that sort of line from it. Now, it's a springy nib or a bouncy nib, so I can press a little bit harder and get more line variation. So in terms of figure of eights, if I try to push a little bit, you can see here on the downstrokes, you have much wider line variation than on the upstrokes. And you can also see this ink shades really, really well. So this is an ink that I do like. Now, Ackerman are made by Diamine, the inks. This is a very nice sort of dark red ink. Now, in terms of wetness, let's have a look here. You can kind of see it's more of a brownish red ink. That's quite a wet ink, bordering on the line of fire hose here, to me. Not necessarily fire hose. It's close. Let's try once more. I would say that it's just a very, very wet nib. But this nib writes flawlessly. It will really write well. And I really do like this nib. And it is a lovely gold coloured nib. So for me, this pen is a pen that I like for a number of reasons. Not only because there's only 50 made of this trim, but also because it's a demonstrator. It's a slight opaque demonstrator, so I can still see the ink without the sort of damage of maybe staining or seeing staining on a clear demonstrator barrel. So for me, this is a really, really nice pen. It writes well. It is quite wet, but not too wet, so I can use this in a journal without any fear of bleeding through or having to wait a long time for the ink to dry. So that's a review of the Visconti Homo Sapiens Caput Mundi. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.